have a few poems that are about extinction, which is my new obsession because of a really cool class I took at Temple called The Way of the Dodo, Romanticism and Extinction. So I like dead things or something. This poem features a creature that's awesome called Tylosaurus prorigor, a mosasaur, who lived in the western interior seaway, which was the sea that was over Kansas. You can see one at the Academy of Natural Sciences. Kansas. Overhead, a boy shark thrashed in Tylosaurus prorigor's grip, tail fin blasting brown gold algae through tropical water in a time before ours, in a now vanished sea. Listen with me how the ground thrums these warm Cretaceous secrets. Cheek the chalky dust, hip the yellow grass. Eons ago, a dark body buckled within a more powerful body. Eons ago, my breathless headlights cheeked your midnight street, 1,300 miles from Kansas, as if what thrashes within untouchable hours would speak with an invisible sea. This is called Tweet. It's 140 characters. Shadowed, passenger pigeons, cacophonous noontime endarkenment, slave meat, down comforters, billions carnage, till Martha, captive, the last. This next poem features a really cool dinosaur called Dreadnoughtus. Anyone heard Dreadnoughtus before? Badass dinosaur.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a giant Titanosaurian sauropod dinosaur discovered by Ken Lacovera, friend of ours at Drexel. Dreadnoughtus means fear nothing or fearing nothing. And there's a word in here, the Anthropocene. Anyone know what that is?
Yes.
Cool. It's so it's gaining traction to describe our current geologic age, in which humans are affecting the ecosystems and the atmosphere of the world. Fear nothing. Your ancient iris, blue-green reservoir of the Anthropocene's last sunlit hours, gathers the days of Dreadnoughtus through to the hours beyond us. Invisible between our flickering faces, a tunnel of song. Whatever breaks the heart you hide beckons unborn ghosts to fleck amid blue-green. They murmur of futures soaked with gasoline. This is my last extinction poem, and I have one more after this. No, I have two more after this, sorry. Anyway, The Way of the Dodo, which is after David Quayman's The Song of the Dodo. It's a book. Have you considered the knowledge of that bird? How many centuries, probably millennia, the dodo's large feet carried her bottom-heavy bulk through Mauritian forests, taught her young to use stones to digest fruit, and then, for those final decades, to silence their anxious bodies when leaves swished around human feet. The dodo never would have named herself that, when her wings, softly feathered and flightless, were full of such breathy vowels, gentle consonants. Maybe Washua or Brathu. Our dumb name began her annihilation, inviting the Dutch to club her and her kind and their kids, whack-a-mole style, until there was just one. Let's say she died alone, wearied face tucked between wide-leaved bushes, forgetful of her features, not having a companion to sing to for years beyond memory, as she was the last holdout, escaped from the men and their monkeys and pigs, all alien to her world for uncountable years. Maybe that's how the Colorado forgets it's a river, named as it was for a color the namers were already memorializing. The West parches paler and paler tan, Los Angeles desperate for water. What difference would it make if the last dodo had had an unhatched son or daughter? So, speaking of Los Angeles, this is called Santa Monica Pier. With nothing but ocean before and below these warped wood boards, I shoulder the decade gap. Champagne supernova, bellowing earnest and faux British over the busker's Whitman-esque beard. And what is the grass if not the uncut hair of graves? And the sea, if not the swallower of my love-lorn father? Or so he threatened, after noting his 67-year-old hands, hematoma beneath thin forearm skin, loose jowl, mourning for the 5th time that hour a man can only take so much rejection. As if I too were not hypnotized by broken boats drifting abyssal in visions. What to do with these hearts in avalanche? Beside me lie 6 silver fish, vacant-eyed on a built-in table, 2 knives parallel to their stomachs, the fisherman washing his hands. So this is my last poem, and I totally forgot to say thank you to Bob for making this happen, and to the BNP, and to all of you beautiful people for listening. I teach at Temple as part of the PhD program, and there are a lot of international students who enliven our idiomatic expressions if their first language is not English. And one of my former students wrote me, and I think she meant to ask, how in the world are you? But she asked, how is the world keeping you? Which I loved. And this is called How the World Keeps Me. Groove down deep at a rink with my 2 good shins. Sturdy at dusk, stray brown oak leaves overhead. Hair curler of surf, unfurling locks onto San Luis Obispo sand. February wind flinging wool coat panels wide on sidewalks. The click hiss of carbonation breathing out cans. Drift of music hazed by radios skating on worn-down tires. Crocuses, white crocuses, purple crocuses. Broken stones whose halves emit mutual gravity I can almost feel with my quiet finger. Wednesday white peach wooyi oolong tea, scribbling beside me. Rivers, the bridge eyes make from across large rooms. The heaters thump in this loud apartment. The sunlight blinds streak in onto a mattress. The pileated woodpecker some die without seeing. The hot earth in East California deserts. The heat of 2 bodies eye-darting on an elevator. The 4-breasted seal my lover and I become tumbling alone in a pine-lined lake. Train cars snake-like approaches at midnight. The feral swagger of North Philly's mangiest cat. Hot breath on an earlobe, sweat slicked on a dance floor, knowing that words are weak, talons good for perching, that my 3-year-old nephew right now is tennis shoes deep in a San Diego fountain kicking, that you by some miracle are still with me, that somebody built this rug upon which we are reading, floor, that somebody, I meant wove and whatever, that somebody built this and we are here slaking its human thirst for animation. That we have built this because we are soft-lipped animals this world keeps hungry. Thank you. Thank you. I was actually clapping for E, which I was about to introduce her, and I'm like, yay! But you didn't know that yet. So, Elizabeth Catanese, E, she prefers E, but you can call her either, is a poet and artist who embraces creative hybridity. Her paintings have been shown widely in galleries in New Jersey and here at the Philadelphia Sketch Club. She is an assistant professor at Community College of Philadelphia, where she rocks students' lives in creative writing, intercultural communication, reading and writing, all kinds of great classes, and she is my best friend, and we met 10 years ago. We became best friends, basically, 10 years ago this month, when we were students at Bryn Mawr College together. So please welcome E!
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, students, family, friends, new people who will become friends. We're going to read some poems that we've written collaboratively, and our process for collaborative writing is to alternate lines. We work in silence, and we write one line at a time, and then when we feel that we're done, we nod. And then after that point, we revise the poems. Sometimes. Usually, these have been revised, the ones we were reading to you. And the first poem also is, when we first met, we were taking a class on James Joyce and Samuel Beckett, and we realized that we had really similar ideas for a final paper. So we waited outside of our professor's office, sort of like peeked in, and we said, can we write the paper together? And she said yes. So that was one of our first collaborative endeavors.
It had to be twice as long.
It had to be twice as long.
And we had 3 conclusions.
We did. It was fun and really challenging. It took a lot longer than any normal paper would ever take. So this first poem is sort of Beckett-like in nature.
Old dent.
The bottom of the chair against the speckled rug.
Pushes, deepening the old dent.
This is the meaning of redundancy.
After saying nothing, it is right to speak.
After speaking something, it is right to drink.
After drinking something, it is right to clink.
This is the meaning of redundancy.
The bottom of the chair against the speckled rug.
And this one is called Eurydice in the Gutter.
Runoff rushes over the Pabst Blue ribbon.
With a gurgle whoosh,
It is the sound the shower makes.
after the last lover's hairs caress the drain.
I cannot look at the beer can.
But I still hear its impact 10 paces away.
The way out is never metallic.
Is always water,
Pipes mirror,
particles of scum, airplanes,
and the inside of her mouth.
when collapse comes.